Alright guys, I think it's time we have a chat about the first Descendant. You know, I want to always keep you guys up to date on things happening with the channel, up to date what's happening with the game, and give you my thoughts on things. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the first Descendant because there has been a lot of things that happened recently that I want to go over. One of the comments I've been getting a lot of lately has been the game is dying, the first Descendant is finally starting to die out, the game is dead, things like that. And as of recording this video right now, there's about 53,000 players playing right now with a peak of 60,000 players roughly. And for me personally, I don't think that's a dying game. I think that is a very healthy game in my opinion. The season did just recently release, so maybe that's why they think it's dying and it only has 58,000 players playing. But ultimately, I don't believe the game is dying. I think the game is in a good spot. I did want to talk about the update though, because I do want to be real with you guys, because some players have noticed that I've been posting a lot of Space Marines 2 content on the channel. We're going to continue to post it because, you know, that's going to be the game we're going to be putting on the channel a lot of. Just want to quickly go over my thoughts on why we're doing it. Anyone who understands gaming in 2024, especially a game like this one, which is a live service game that is releasing, especially in a market that's contested like Destiny 2 and Warframe, who's had a decade to do it, that content will eventually run dry. Now, obviously for me, someone who plays 10 to like 15 hours a day, content runs drier much faster. I got to keep up with the grind of YouTube, got to try to make good balanced builds that works for players, and of course, you know, deal with the mental things that come with being a creator. And I'm at a point as a player right now where I've actively done pretty much everything the first Descendant has to offer. Like, I'm finishing up a Blair build. I'll be on the channel in a couple of days. Jaber is still a little bit broken, so I'm not going to be really touching him. My Vyessa build is 2 katas away from being done. At this point, I'm pretty much done with all the Descendants. I've beaten every bit of the content. I beat most of the bosses day 4 into the game. So content is slowly starting to run dry, and that's 110% expected. I want to be very clear, that is expected. If you're some of my earlier subscribers, you know where I come from. I come from Diablo 4, a game that I told you I would consider going back to, and while I haven't gone back to, I do play it on and off. But that game is in a much better spot. Why? Because as I and probably most players expected, once season like 4, 5, 6 came around, the game was going to be in a good place. It's a game that is going to be competing against, you know, other IPs that's been established for a long time, and so content was going to be lower compared to content of games that are already out now. And that's kind of the same boat that the first Descendant's in right now. I don't expect the first Descendant to have a lot of content, right? Once season 3 come out, season 4 come out, that's where I would be in the mindset, or I would never be in the mindset of only playing one game, but that would be the time where I would be in the mindset of only playing one game technically. While season 1 is great on what they delivered, it's not a lot of content. Like, let's be real here, what they bought was basically Haley, which is an amazing Descendant, a must build. I recently put a build video out like a couple hours ago, so you should go check that out. They added these infiltration things that I'm not a big fan of. They added some new base mechanics that give some passive power, but other than that, let's be real here, it's not a lot of content. Most of what we got was fixes, a lot of quality of life stuff, and while I'm not even upset at that, I actually prefer this update. I think this was the best update in the game by a large margin. Jaber still needs some work. Ajax is in a better place. Blair's in a better place. A lot of like void farming's in a great place. The game feels good. Like, the game actually feels really good. With that in mind, that doesn't mean there's a lot of content anymore, because they're fixing a lot of the issues. They're fixing it for the long term. So that's really great. On the October 10th update, which will be like a month from now, there isn't going to be a lot as well. We're going to get Ultimate Freyna, which, as you guys probably can tell from what I've said many times, I'm not a fan of Freyna. I don't think she's that great of a Descendant. Maybe she will get her own supply firearm enhancer and make her good, because every Descendant gets that to make their weapon builds viable. Once I finish her build, that probably most creators are going to pretty much do the same exact build of, you know, there's not really going to be much to do. We're going to kill the boss. I'm sure one Descendant is mystically going to be able to one-shot it and get next on some extra cells. We'll see how that goes, but ultimately that's not really a lot of content that's going to be coming on the 10th update. So yeah, there's not going to be a lot to play in season 1. Season 2 probably going to be a lot better, and even more so, I'm pretty sure these were made before the launch of the game, like season 1 and season 2. A lot of companies do that. I can't confirm that they did that, but I'm just saying, like, there's not going to be a lot of content, right? So that's why you're seeing me playing other games, and we're going to continue to play other games. I don't think it's a reasonable expectation to think that you could sit here and play one game for the entire time, unless you are like someone who worked 9 to 5, you have kids, you touch grass, that kind of stuff. Of course, maybe you guys can, because you don't have as much time as me, or maybe even like the average gamer. But all I'm just saying is, you know, guys, it's a looter shooter. It's gonna need time to pump out content, and the game is in fact not dying. The game is pretty healthy, and in my opinion, the first Descendant is healthier than it's ever been. So it's taking steps in the right direction, in my opinion. With that said, what are we going to be playing in the near future, just so you guys are aware of what to expect from the channel. This does not mean I won't be coming back to the first Descendant. I know I didn't go back to Diablo 4, but that's for many other reasons, mainly Path of Exile 2, which we're going to talk about in a second. But yeah, what to expect from the channel will be Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2. Almost said Dark Tide. Space Marine 2, that's going to be out on the 6th. We're going to have early access about 4 days from now, or 3 days from this video. So you'll be seeing that on the Twitch stream as well as here on YouTube with a ton of guides and information. After that, from my understanding, I believe is going to be the first Descendant update on the 10th. We're going to do Freyna guides. We're going to do how to kill the boss guides, and then that's going to be pretty much it, because there's not going to be too much content on that. Expect Assassin's Creed, I think it's called Red Shadows, whatever it's called. Yes, I know people don't love Ubisoft, but I love making guides for other games, and it's going to be fun. Anotria, the last song, there's a good chance we will be featuring that here on the channel as well, because Anotria looks really good, and the dev team, they're like literally one of the coolest dev team to ever see. They're really dope. I kind of been looking at Silent Hill 2, but don't quote me on that. I don't know if I'll be playing that. Of course, 110% we're going to be playing Path of Exile 2. That game looks like it's going to take the world by storm. Probably going to be the biggest ARPG of the decade, so it's going to be pretty damn insane. I believe that is a November the 15th where you can play the like early access open beta thing, whatever they're doing. And then of course, whenever Monster Hunter Wilds come out, which I'm hoping is like February, we're going to be seeing that on the channel, while also continuing to play the first Descendant, because there's mega dungeons in December. Anyways, I just wanted to have this quick chat with you guys, because again, I see a lot of comments that the game is dead. Fervor, you're quitting the game, you're gonna go play other games. Yeah, I'm gonna go play other games because there's way too many great games to just play one, but that doesn't mean I'm giving up on the first Descendant. The first Descendant's a great game. I have a lot of fun with it. I love making builds. It's super cool. They need to balance some things, they need to fix some things, but the game is in a great place and it's not dying. Anyway, guys, feel free to leave me some comments on what you think about the game that I'm going to be playing, the conversation about the first Descendant dying, and yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon.